if I get him first?
In today's recap, we're bringing you the story of an action-packed American movie titled The Marksman. The film follows Jim Hanson, whose peaceful life takes a dramatic turn when a woman and her young son, seeking refuge from a dangerous Mexican cartel, cross the US/Mexico border. Tragedy strikes as a shootout claimed the life of the mother, leaving Jim as the reluctant guardian of the boy. Determined to keep Miguel safe, Jim embarks on a perilous journey, facing relentless assassins and doing whatever it takes to ensure the boy's security. But before we start, please support our channel by subscribing and click the bell icon for future notifications. Now, let's start. The movie opens in Mexico, where Miguel and his mother Rosa reside. Rosa receives a troubling call from someone close to her, revealing that the dangerous cartel is after them. Realizing the imminent danger, Rosa and Miguel must escape without delay. Meanwhile, cartel leader Mauricio Guerrero has already captured Rosa's brother Carlos, who had stolen money from them. In a chilling display of warning, Carlos is hanged from an overpass, with Mauricio reminding him that his family will be next. In Arizona, Jim Hanson, a retired Marine, spends his days monitoring the US-Mexico border, keeping a watchful eye for any undocumented migrants attempting to cross. During his patrol, he notices a group of migrants nearby and promptly reports the situation. As he continues observing, Jim realizes that one of them is injured. Showing compassion, he offers the injured individual some water while making arrangements to get medical help for them. Jim finds himself in a difficult financial situation as his home faces foreclosure, leaving him with limited work prospects. Living alone with his loyal companion, his dog Jackson, Jim's main source of companionship is his stepdaughter Sarah, who works as a police officer. Both of them deeply miss Sarah's mother, who has passed away. One night, Sarah takes Jim home from the bar and ensures he gets to bed, displaying their close bond and care for each other. The following day, while patrolling the border, Jim encounters Rosa and Miguel attempting to cross the fence. He intends to report them to Border Patrol, but their presence attracts the attention of Mauricio and his henchmen. Realizing the imminent danger, Jim urges Rosa and Miguel to hide as Mauricio's men open fire. In self-defense, Jim fires back, fatally shooting Mauricio's brother. Seizing the opportunity, Jim helps Rosa and Miguel into his truck and escapes, with Mauricio giving chase on foot. Jim manages to lose Mauricio and evades capture. Meanwhile, Mauricio calls for reinforcements to pursue them. Motivated by his sense of responsibility, Jim discovers that Miguel is at the station and is scheduled for deportation, with Mauricio and his men lurking outside. Learning of the dangerous situation, Jim devises a plan to rescue Miguel. He tricks the officer on duty to allow him a brief visit with Miguel and successfully smuggles the boy out of the station, all while Mauricio observes their escape. Jim quickly returns home to grab his loyal dog Jackson and his firearms, preparing for the perilous journey ahead. Mauricio and his henchmen arrive at Jim's house and ransack it to obtain personal information, while one of them steals a marine pin from Jim. They proceed to set the house on fire as an act of intimidation. Later, the gang members establish a nearby base of operations, with one of Mauricio's men tracking Jim's credit card activity to keep tabs on his movements. After leaving the gas station, Jim and Miguel continue their journey toward Chicago. However, Mauricio and his men also stop at the same gas station. Mauricio intimidates the gas station clerk who had interacted with Jim, and they review the security footage to identify Jim's whereabouts. In a chilling act, Mauricio kills the clerk and resumes the pursuit of Jim and Miguel. Jim and Miguel continue their journey, but their truck breaks down due to overheating. Jim takes it to a nearby shop for repairs while they spend the night in the truck. In the morning, Miguel takes Jackson for a walk and uses some money to gather supplies. Meanwhile, Sarah, Jim's stepdaughter, learns about the situation and contacts him, urging him to return Miguel. Jim emphasizes the life-or-death nature of their predicament, highlighting the urgency of their situation. While on the road, Jim is pulled over by Trooper Vic Browder, who confiscates Jim's weapons and asks him to step out of the vehicle. The trooper claims he wants to talk to Miguel, but Jim becomes suspicious when he notices the trooper talking on the phone to someone else. Realizing that the trooper is working with the cartel and has betrayed them, Jim confronts him. The trooper draws his gun on Jim, but Jackson, Jim's dog, bites his arm, allowing Jim to overpower him. Jim incapacitates the trooper and hides with Miguel and Jackson as Mauricio and his men arrive. Seeing that their targets have escaped, Mauricio kills the trooper and they take Jim's guns. Jim, determined to protect Miguel, stops at a gun store to acquire more firearms. Later, he chooses a motel for the night, thinking it's a safe option since he didn't use any traceable payment methods. Unfortunately, Mauricio and his men track them down, killing the motel clerk in the process. Jim manages to hide with Miguel and calls the police for help. They remain concealed until the authorities arrive, but Mauricio spots Jackson, Jim's loyal dog, and shoots him before fleeing. In the morning, Jim mourns Jackson's death and gives him a heartfelt burial. Despite contemplating taking Miguel back to Mexico, Jim has a change of heart after a conversation with Sarah. Realizing that he must see the mission through, he resolves to continue protecting Miguel. Sarah, understanding his determination, agrees to cover for him and keep his whereabouts a secret from her colleagues. Jim and Miguel find shelter for the night on the side of the road, where Jim teaches Miguel how to handle a gun. They also burn the cartel money for warmth, symbolizing their defiance against the criminal organization. As they approach their destination, Jim notices that Mauricio and his men have tracked them down and are closing in. Jim skillfully evades them for a brief moment, allowing him to find a vantage point to snipe at them. He takes out the driver, causing their van to crash, and then takes Miguel to hide on a nearby farm. He eliminates one of Mauricio's men and creates a diversion with Miguel's help to take out another member. However, Mauricio captures Miguel and holds him hostage, intending to recruit him as a child soldier. In a brave act, Miguel disarms his gun, allowing Jim to engage in a physical confrontation with Mauricio. During the struggle, Jim is stabbed, but Miguel retrieves the gun and hands it to Jim. With the gun in his hands, Jim shoots Mauricio in the stomach, leaving him with a choice. Mauricio returns Jim's medal, and as Jim and Miguel depart, they hear the sound of Mauricio turning the gun on himself. Jim accompanies Miguel to his family's house in Chicago, where they are overjoyed to be reunited. Jim then quietly disappears and boards a bus. As he reflects on his stab wounds, he closes his eyes, hinting at his final peaceful rest. That marked the end of the movie. Share your thoughts about the movie in the comments section below. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel to support us and encourage more recap videos. If you have any requests for specific movies you want us to recap, let us know in the comments. Stay tuned for more content.